years ago, a documentary was filmed. Due to a troubled production, the project went unfinished. The footage was abandoned, long thought to be lost. Until now. Amid the cold vacuum of space, Earth, cruising down below into the dense atmosphere, one would find the Nevada desert and Area 51. Cornfields and crop circles and satellites monitoring the stars above. For years, conspiracy theorists have observed the strange phenomena in these places and foretold of the signs left behind by visitors from outer space. The clock is ticking. Unidentified flying objects, UFOs, have been sighted observing us from the sky the world over. Should we now lend these theorists any credence? Or is it just an elaborate hoax? In a long-lost interview, Andy Thomas, one of the 21st century's leading researchers into unexplained mysteries and cover-ups, explains.
I think we live in a world where we have all been effectively conditioned to ridicule anything to do with UFOs, aliens, all of that. We are encouraged to laugh at it. But that's quite a clever way of keeping a public conversation down. Because the problem with that is if you suddenly see a UFO, or you have an encounter, you are going to fear the ridicule that you know is going to follow. And I have met many people over the years who've shared things with me that they have never shared publicly, because they know that I'm not going to make fun of them. I will hear them out. And yet, you know, if they start to say it to friends and family, they know that they're going to get ridiculed, they're going to be laughed at, and so they shut up. And there's a lot of that. There's a self-censorship that's now built into our society whereby we don't talk about these things. And even people who've had the most extraordinary experiences, it's like they really have to think twice as to whether they share that with anybody.
What are your thoughts on those that go out of their way to find UFOs?
I mean, the people that will often see more UFOs than the average person are the people that are sitting out on hillsides night after night, because of course that's where you're more likely to see them. That needs to be done. You can absolutely prove by looking back at history that conspiracies, they're fairly rife. And yet, if you start to wonder about them or you theorize about them, then of course they say, oh, well, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Well, my answer to that is, so what? There are conspiracies, there are theories you have to look at, so what's the issue with being a conspiracy theorist? So I don't see that as a dirty term, which some do, and if you want to call me that, well, yes, I suppose technically I am, but that doesn't mean that a conspiracy theorist believes any old thing. The mainstream, it always shows people in that world as being mad, you know, a bit on the edge, a bit fringe, and they always show them wearing tinfoil hats, which is apparently to stop you being mind controlled. Well, I've never tried it myself, but that's a brainwash. And that's the unfortunate thing. The way these people are portrayed to the world is not actually how it is. And you'll often find many of the people investigating these areas, they actually do know a lot more than anybody gives them credit for.
Alien breakthrough.
The way these people are
Proof that UFOs exist.
portrayed to the world is not...
The truth is out there.